Hello and welcome to Scout Report, where today we're profiling 3 key signings which could save big teams from relegation this season. Let's get into it. Musa Dembele. At this point, Wolves' troubles in front of goal are well documented. Since Raul Jimenez was knocked unconscious against Arsenal back in November 2020, nobody has scored more than 6 goals for Wanderers in a league campaign, with the Mexican averaging a goal every 345 minutes since then, compared to 1 every 200 minutes before. And though the club took steps to address that issues over the last 2 seasons, forking out €107 million on Hwang Hee-chan, Gonzalo Guedes, Fabio Silva and Sasa Kalajdzic, not to mention the loan and free acquisitions of players like Willian José, Diogo Costa and Trincao, they proved unable to fashion even an average Premier League attack. At present they sit bottom of the table with just 8 goals scored in 15 games, 3 fewer than any other team, and only 4 of their players have netted so far this season, with half their tally coming from midfielder Ruben Neves. And while they are definitely getting unlucky with Bournemouth producing less XG to date, they simply cannot get quality shots off, ranking second bottom of the division for shots on target with just 3 a game, largely because most of their efforts are speculative attempts from range, coming from an average distance of 18.6 yards out. This is easy stuff for top flight keepers to deal with. You'd hope new boss Julen Lopetegui can get more out of this team. After all, Transfermarkt ranks their squad as more valuable than 8 other English sides, and it's hard to imagine Pedro Neto continuing to produce XG at the same rate as Southampton left-back Romain Perraud as he is right now. But a new striker wouldn't be the worst idea for January, especially with Kalajdzic ruled out until around June with a cruciate ligament injury. So with Premier League survival on the line, we think a big punchy move is in order. And whilst they've been linked with Atletico Madrid's Matheus Cunha, they could make a play for Lyon forward Musa Dembele, with fitness issues and a shocking loan spell at Atletico Madrid perhaps putting off the super clubs. But now with a contract expiring in June, Dembele's price should be low enough to give him an escape route, and Wolves will be among the richest suitors for him, with Jimenez, Moutinho and Matheus Nunes all reportedly on more than £100,000 per week. But what would he bring to the Midlands? The main thing is shots, tons of them, and from good locations. Dembele has averaged over 3 shots per 90 from an average distance of 13 yards out across his time in France, and has consistently put over 40% of those attempts on target, the same as Salah since he arrived at Liverpool. That shot volume rates in the top 12% of strikers and would be comfortably top in the Wolves squad, where Guedes is currently in first with 2.4 attempts a game. But Dembele might also help the team work the ball around the penalty area, with 6 touches in the box per 90, better than every Jimenez season at Molineux, and an ability to get free to receive the ball, wheeling in 6.3 progressive passes a match, ahead of the Mexicans' 5.8. In other departments, Dembele seems a close fit for the best version of Jimenez. In his best scoring season for Wolves, the 31-year-old got 17, while Dembele put up a career-high 21 last campaign. For expected assists, the pair are exactly matched, with 0.12 per 90 over the last 4 seasons. Jimenez used to complete over a dribble a game, making him a helpful outlet in a counter-attacking system, and Dembele has historically done the same, while arguably boasting better pace than the veteran. And Dembele actually gets dispossessed less often, 1.7 times per appearance to Jimenez's 2 since the summer of 2021, and wins more aerial duels, 53% to 43%, perhaps due to weaker defences in Ligue than the Prem, but at least a promising sign for a hold-up striker who needs to provide a focal point for nippy wingers. It's possible that Dembele will have more attractive offers, with sides like Chelsea, Man United and Bayern Munich all looking for centre-forwards in the summer of 2023. But Wolves have shown that they can sell their project to top players and pay the fees and wages required to build a side good enough for European football. With demotion to the second tier a real possibility, they have no choice but to flex their muscles in the winter window. Enzo Le Fee. From one goal-shy Premier League side to another, we head to Southampton, who also head into the second half of the season under new management. But despite the general attitude and the 9-0 defeats, Ralph Hasenhüttl was always better than the talent he was given to work with, and improvement at St Mary's will not only be determined by the dugout, but also by recruitment, with a steady drain of quality seeing an attack that once boasted Tadic and Mane, now led by Che Adams and Adam Armstrong. Another goalscorer wouldn't go amiss, but the underlying numbers suggest that the issue runs deeper. Only 2 Premier League teams have created less XG than the Saints in 22-23, and particularly worrying is their toothlessness from open play, with nearly 10% of their shots from set pieces. Only Brentford have been more reliant on dead ball situations so far this term, and while it's partly down to an unusual effectiveness from corners and free kicks, thanks to James Ward-Prowse, a better version of Southampton needs a better plan A. So Nathan Jones needs a proper attacking midfielder, who can stitch the talented defence to the underserved front line. And the first name that comes up in our search is Enzo Le Fee of Lorient. At 22, Le Fee was part of the team which won promotion to the top flight in 2020, and is now closing in on 100 appearances in Ligue, meaning he both fits Southampton's youthful recruitment strategy and offers enough experience to make an immediate impact, the sweet spot the club should be aiming to hit over the next few windows. While comfortable playing in deeper midfield roles than a number 10, Le Fee is chiefly notable for his incredible creative stats. Having made 2 chances a game last year, he's up that to 2.7 this term as Lorient have climbed from relegation battle into the fight for European places. And that ranks 14th in Europe among players with at least 10 full matches this season, as well as comfortably outstripping Ward-Prowse on 2 key passes per 90 and Che Adams on 1.4. More importantly, Ward-Prowse creates over half of his chances from set pieces, while for Le Fee, that number is only a third, and the opportunities he makes are also of a much higher quality, with 0.3 expected assists per 90, while the England man is down at 0.14. That means that over a full campaign, you'd predict Le Fee to grab 11 assists and Ward-Prowse to get just 5. And true to expectation, the young Frenchman has 5 goal involvements already in 22-23, ahead of JWP's 3. But that isn't all he offers. Le Fee can drive the team on from a deeper position, putting up over 5 passes into the final third a match, more than any Southampton player. And he also provides some one-on-one threat the club is sorely missing too, completing 1.8 dribbles per 90 over the last 3 years, again far ahead of Kyle Walker-Peters' team-high 1.3. Also a strong contributor out of possession, Le Fee outstrips every Southampton midfielder's defensive work with 4 tackles and interceptions a match, making him an outstanding all-round prospect who could hope for a move to one of Europe's best sides in the future. Saints could offer themselves as a stepping stone on that journey, as they have been for stars like Mane, Van Dijk and Højbjerg, and nab a potential superstar. Mohamed Camara. In recent years, Sevilla have been a yo-yo club, but even by their standards, the decline this season has been shocking. When the top teams paused for the World Cup, the Nervianenses were in 18th, 6 points away from safety, and having seen a huge outflux of talent in the summer, they were also down a coach, with Julen Lopetegui out of the door after 10 losses in 21 games in all competitions, one more than they suffered in the whole of the 21-22 campaign. Last year, Sevilla had the tightest rearguard in Spain, conceding just 30 goals in 38 league fixtures, but this season they've already allowed 22 in 14. Keep that rate up for the rest of the year, and they'll exactly double 21-22's tally. And this is no fluke either, with XG painting an even less flattering picture, placing Sevilla among the worst 3 defences in Spain. There is some context around all this. In the summer, both starting centre-backs left, in the form of Diego Carlos and Jules Koundé, and since then the backline has been relentlessly chopped and changed, with 5 players seeing at least 3 appearances in central defence, of which 2 are just 20 years old. Not necessarily a problem, but the kind of thing you see in teams desperately trying anything. Still, the first step on the path to recovery has been a good one, the club securing a return for Jorge Sampaoli in the dugout. The Argentinian did a sterling job with Marseille, another young squad, and previously took Sevilla from 7th to 4th, adding 20 points in 2016-17. It's hard to see such a talented coach getting less out of the squad than they've shown so far, but nonetheless, he could use some key reinforcements heading into the new year. But we're not going to find him a centre-back. In our opinion, the issue is less about the defence being incompetent than about how much it is exposed. Acuna is making 5 tackles and interceptions this campaign, up from 2.5, while Carmona is at 3.9, up from 3.3, which was the most in the squad last year. In 21-22, Koundé and Carlos only won possession around 4 times a game put together, and that wasn't because they were bad, it was because they were protected. At this point, Nemanja Guedes and 35-year-old Fernando aren't going to cut it. Sevilla need a holding player. Once again, we're heading to France, and this time for Monaco's Mohamed Camara. Just 22, the midfielder is one of many Malian players shining across Europe, and has stepped seamlessly into Aurelien Tchouameni's role after a €50 million switch from RB Salzburg. Like his predecessor in the Monegasque number 6 spot, Camara is an excellent passer, and will fit nicely into a team which, despite their troubles, still ranks 5th in Spain for possession. A 90% pass accuracy is in the top 10% of midfielders, but Camara doesn't simply play it safe. With 4.5 passes into the final third a game, more than both Guedes and Fernando, while his 4 progressive passes per 90 is more than that pair put together. He also creates nearly a chance a game and completes 1.2 dribbles from his deep spot, both highly impressive stats, the latter bettering 75% of players in his position. But the main attraction here is his defensive work. Making 5 tackles and interceptions each appearance, Camara ranks in the top 7% of midfielders for winning possession, and his tackle success, aerial prowess, and ability to recover loose balls are all above average and could improve further as he gains experience. It might not be easy to steal him from Monaco mid-season, and only 6 months after they acquired him in the first place, but step in now and even a January markup will still be cheaper than the price Camara could command one day. And with the prospect of a first relegation since 2000 looming, Sevilla have very little choice. So guys, that was our rundown of 3 signings that could save your club from relegation. What did you guys think of the list? And do you think any of these signings will actually happen in January? Let me know in the comments down below. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it and subscribe to EuroFootball Daily, and I'll catch you next time.